Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I want to talk about simple math today. Not big formulas or big calculations, just simple math. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. Why? Because you added something where there was nothing, so something is there. Okay, but 0 times something is nothing. Okay, so that's just simple math. Okay, now when you see a calculation that ends in 3, the answer is 3. That if the answer is 3, that means the calculation should equal the 3. The calculation should always equal the outcome. So if you see plus 1 is 3, that means that it has to be 2 plus 1 is 3, or 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Or even if you made a difficult formula before the plus 1 is 3, it still has to equal 2 in order to become plus 1 is 3. You cannot put 1 plus 1 is 3. Impossible. It can never happen. Okay? And why am I talking about simple math? I'm just using this as I'm using it as a metaphor, as a parable. Okay, where am I heading to this? I'm gonna begin. You have the internet today. You have social media. You have so much. You have also cell phones today. People have internet on their phone. Listen, I remember the time I bought my first mobile phone. It was a Nokia 3410. That thing, you could only text message with it, and you could play some snake game, and you could call with it. It had no extra features. You could not record videos with it, nor could you make selfies with it. It was just an old-fashioned phone. And this was in the years 2000s. Okay? Not that long ago. Man, a lot changed. Now we have phones with camera, with you can go on internet with it. You can even get oh man. Phones today are so advanced. Yet their batteries are crap, but never mind. You get what I'm saying here. Today we have so much technology, so information can be transferred far more easily than in previous ages. Just hold on, I'm going somewhere. When people want to date, they know how to download a dating app. When they want to get involved in prostitution, there are apps for it also. When they want to talk to someone about when they want to murder someone, they know who to call. If there's someone texting them on either WhatsApp or on Facebook that they don't want to talk to, they can always come with an excuse. You see? But how come that people are capable of refusing some interaction and some information, and they are capable of pursuing the information they attach themselves to, but they cannot understand that the world they're living in is fake? Let me go back to simple math. If the answer is 3, then the calculation has to be in harmony with the outcome. Look, even during the Middle Ages and times before that, people were capable of understanding that the world was fake. You can read the Bible and people talk about it. You can also read some quotes and some texts of people during the Middle Ages or the Renaissance, and they understood the fakeness of the world. Someone, I believe it was William Shakespeare, I can be wrong, even said that the world is a stage. He didn't have the internet, he didn't even have the radio and all of that. He couldn't even record sound. He had no long play, no tapes, none of that. And messaging went through letters. If you had to travel, you had to go by horse, by chariot, or by sail ship. Yet he was capable of being educated and receiving a lot of information from different countries, and he could Yet people today who have far advanced technology will get information far more easily. For example, when you want to listen to music, you can just go online to YouTube or you can download music and listen to it. Back in the 70s, you had to buy a long play record and you had to in your house to listen to music. Okay? And you had to needed to have money for it, or else you couldn't have the music. Today, on their phones or on their tablets, they can just listen to almost any music they want, how much they want. You see, like 200 years ago, if you want to listen to music, you had to pay, so you had to have money, and you had to go to a concert. And people had to make effort physically to play the music for you. So if you want to listen to it again, sorry, it's not going to happen. I mean, with all the benefits people have today, and still they cannot understand that the world they're living in is fake, that it doesn't add up. You see, there's something you need to understand. There are people that just don't want to wake up. There are people that don't want to acknowledge the truth. They don't want to give up going against fact and reality. Listen, people often talk about the Illuminati, the top Freemasons, and conspiracies. Now listen, the biggest conspiracy are not those corporations and the media wanting to form a one world government. That's not the biggest conspiracy. I'm not saying the conspiracy is not real, because conspiracies happen throughout history, especially when it involves politics and money. There are conspiracies. The biggest conspiracy are the masses not wanting to acknowledge truth. Because let's be real, folks, let's be real. Do you really think that the media, the people behind the media, and those governments, and those corporations, do you really think they don't understand this? They understand very well that many people just want to be distracted. They don't want to deal with anything. They don't want to give up anything. They just want to be distracted. They have this urge to be entertained all the time. And listen to this, they understand, I mean those people behind the media, the corporations and the governments, they understand also that if people don't have entertainment handed down to them, they will go out to look for their own entertainment. And when they become frustrated, they act out. They become violent, they become verbally abusive. And those the government, the media, and those corporations, so they know it. So what are they doing? They are providing the distraction. We have celebrities that are mind control slaves. They're sold out, they're demon possessed, and those people are used by the governments and the media and the corporations to distract people. So now people don't have to go out and look for their own distraction. Distraction is provided onto them daily. Now, for example, now in the media you also have those false flags and those shooting hoaxes. Now the people don't have to look for someone. They don't really have to make effort into look for someone to blame. The media gives them someone to blame. And of course, we're looking at the media saying the media is bad, those governments are satanic, those corporations are greedy, blah blah. Okay, all of that can be true. But we miss the other side of the picture. If we would overthrow, let me say, the banking dynasties, even then it would not be a guarantee that things will become better. Well, let's be real, let's be realistic here, guys. Let's be very realistic here. Uh, you see, you have this thing called the truth movement of people exposing the Illuminati, exposing the government, exposing conspiracies, and they come with facts and reports. And people think, whoa, this is alternative media. Now listen, also the alternative media is for the large part controlled and paid by those same people they're trying to expose. Okay? And also the alternative media has its agenda. If you don't have discernment, you can't recognize it. There are also pastors lately and so-called prophets are rising that speak truth about scripture. But if you're careful and you look at what they're doing, you will notice that they have an agenda. Their agenda is just like to keep people in line, to make things comfortable, so that people won't have to deal with anything. But if you don't have discernment, you might think they are men and women of God. That's what Jesus said. Make sure that no one deceives you. Look, a lot of folks out there, they're they're playing static. You know when you had, I know back in the days, I'm not that old, but I went to the transition. You had those televisions that were quite big, and it went through cable. And if the cable was not connected well, you had this static, this black and white rice grains going all the time on the screen. So that's what society is heading over to you. Static. Static through the media, through corporations, through advertisement. They are making fake promises concerning products. And also, did I say the media? Yes, in the media they have it. You also have celebrities, and you have these false flags by governments. It happens all the time. And I used to wonder why. Now, I understand fully why it's happening. Because, listen, it's either the media, those corporations, and those governments, it's either they are deceiving the masses, or you will have all these dictator type figures rising up from among the masses and fighting amongst each other. Listen, I'm not approving the circumstance of what's going on. I just want to point out to you the other side. Let's look at Iraq, for example. You had this dictator called Saddam Hussein. No, he was doing evil. Don't get things twisted. He was a wicked man. Nevertheless, what happened when the Americans came and removed Saddam Hussein? Did things got better in Iraq? No, it got worse. Why? Because listen, Saddam Hussein was basically the bully demon that was keeping all the other demons in check. We got other evil and narcissistic personalities that lusted after power in Iraq. But now you had Saddam Hussein. He was the one with the privilege, and he did evil, but at the same time he held those other demons in check, basically. But now that the top demon has gone, all those other demons won't take his place, and now you have them all fighting amongst each other. And this also led to the formation of what we call the Islamic State. And not only did it lead to the rise of the Islamic State and of radicalization, because listen, about 1.4 million Iraqis died after Saddam Hussein was removed. You also have many people that lost their homes, their school, their future. So not only did it lead to the rise in jihadist extremism, it also led to what we call the migrant crisis, the refugee crisis that happened in back in 2015, and which also led to um, the sexual assaults in Cologne and other um, um, European cities post New Year's Eve from 2015 to 2016. So yes, Saddam Hussein was wicked. Nevertheless, they removed him, and now it got worse. Now listen, I in no way am condoning nor approving what what mainstream media, what those corporations and those governments are doing. I'm not condoning it, nor supporting it, nor agreeing with it. I'm only revealing in this video why it's happening. It's happening because the population does not want to receive the love of the truth and be saved, as it's written in scripture, but they have pleasure in unrighteousness. So they're the ones giving and supporting the climate for those mainstream media and those corporations and those governments to operate. They are. I mean, just as I said, do simple math. Okay? If, for example, nobody wanted to have Gaddafi in Libya, then a revolution would have happened a long time ago. Instead, the Western countries came, they killed Gaddafi, and what happened to Libya afterwards? It only got worse and worse. And listen, I'm going to talk about something Jesus said concerning evil spirits. Because Jesus said this also applies to the wicked people of the world. Because listen, people that are wicked, they're basically behaving the same way as demons do. So Jesus said the evil spirit leaves a man, is cast out of a man, that evil spirit goes out into dry places to look for rest, and he finds none. So Jesus made clear that evil spirits, when they leave an individual, they always go and look for rest in dry places. It's very important. Now, the evil spirits will not find any rest at all. He won't. So then he wants to return back to the place he was cast out from. But now he wants to have support, so it won't be easy for him to be cast out anymore. So what will the evil spirit do? He will go and look for bodies who have more experience than him in order to help him get back to the person he used to possess. When that evil spirit returns with those other demons, they will see that the individual has moved on is with her life or his life, and things are going well. And now, if the demons manage to get hold of that individual, it will become worse for that individual. For example, you can have someone that used to smoke. That smoking was a form of relief from pain. Now, the individual gets deliverance, but the individual is not born again and he or she is not following Christ. So they are still empty. What happens now when the demons that were attached to that individual returns, they will come with more demons. Now, maybe after a year or two, the individual begins to smoke again, but now they're also drinking, now they're also fighting. You see, it's getting worse and worse. Why? Because listen, unless someone or a community submits unto the Most High, and with the power of the Most High resists the devil, then it's useless to cast out demons from amongst them. It's useless to so-called fix their problems. Why? Because they're still empty. And as long as they're empty, it's basically one form of evil is replaced with the other. And the replacement will always be worse than the previous one. Again, I want you to do the simple math. Listen, it may be hard for you to grasp this, but a lot of folks just love unrighteousness. If they didn't love unrighteousness, they would not permit all these invasive messages from the media, from those corporations, and from celebrities. Well, that being said, may the grace of Christ Jesus be with you. Shalom.